Hi, I'm Megan, and welcome to the Tough Luck Podcast. Today we will begin by starting off with pick a candle readings here. Some housekeeping today. We have a monthly membership and a yearly membership that are half off the original price because we're only posting 2 videos per month. We do have an app actually, so stick around to learn more about the app towards the end of the video. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll start with pile number 1, which is a green candle, very nice. Pile number 2, which is a maroon / cranberry candle. And pile number 3, which is just a white candle. So pick your card now, and we'll begin each reading. And starting off with our first reading, pile number 1, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're using the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck, and go ahead and shuffle this deck. I'm just taking upright 3-card pull as well as a Celtic Spirit Oracle deck. Just 1 card for that to wrap up each reading. So we have 3 of Cups. Okay, the Death card, and the King of Pentacles. Okay, let's get one for our Celtic Spirit Oracle deck. We'll go ahead and shuffle. Okay. The Oak Guardian. Okay. So, starting off here, pile number 1, we have the 3 of Cups. Let me go ahead and get the word out of it. I like to touch the card and then get a word for it. Main. Okay. So, 3 of Cups is typically collaborative energy. It's working in groups, but the Pentacles are where it's more working oriented. Cups are more feeling oriented. So oftentimes it's emotional groups that are going on here. And what I mean by emotional groups here is we have a lot of people in our lives that impact us, that throw us off, that give us their interpretation of what the situation is. And ultimately, it can be overbearing at times, but also it can be a beautiful thing. Sometimes we need multiple perspectives in order to overcome a situation. Great. So the second card we have is the Death card. Now, the Death card is a very interesting card because it is something that we often face and we think is a bad thing, but it isn't. It's one of those beautiful times, actually, where we can begin again. It's a transformative card. And I noticed that in comparison with the card behind it, having the collaboration here, the Death card coming up can mean, this is my interpretation, but with the word main, perhaps a main friend or a main person in your life. Maybe it's a family member, friend, spouse, someone like that is having kind of an ending, or maybe perhaps you're having the ending and having some form of transformation here. Sometimes these transformations can be very painful and it's a lot to take on, but in the long run it does help out certain circumstances. Let me touch the card for the word. I got the word nice. Okay. So I think main and nice. Interesting. So nice can mean a variation of different things. It could mean that the situation is really nice, that it's a good change, that the transformation will lead into a nice result. Or sometimes it's kind of a sigh of relief. It's kind of something that, oh, thank goodness. I'm like really, really doing well now, and it's really good thing. Okay, so the King of Pentacles. Let me touch the card for the word. Mine. Okay. So mine is interesting because mine is a... It's interesting. It feels like possessiveness almost. But that sounds rough. That does sound pretty rough. It could mean that now that you've transformed, now that you've evolved, because I see this more as a chronological order situation. Now that you have evolved out of perhaps this Three of Cups energy, this needing to gain approval of others, needing to have this sense of, okay, everybody collaborate on an emotional thing in your life, you're kind of taking a step in independence. And I see this being kind of, well, frankly, nice for you. It's a good change. It's a transformative change, actually, which is a beautiful thing. And I noticed that with the King of Pentacles energy, it's something that is material. It's something that is on this earth that is a sense of gain for you. It's interesting how we oftentimes see ourselves as, okay, we don't necessarily see ourselves in the greatest of light. But I think that's about to change for you. I see yourself, you're really taking power over your situation. Your thoughts control your material gain in this sense. And so it kind of goes from emotion to just practicality, which is kind of makes sense. It's you kind of have to go through emotional turmoil in order to gain profit in some areas of your life. And for the final card, we have the Oak Guardian, and this is a beautiful ending to this 3-card pull because it's allowing for us to gain an understanding and open-mindedness into basically unlocking some answers for ourselves. It says on the card, threshold answers, open mind. And I see an oak as something that's sturdy, that's reliable. And these answers that are about to come for you, in my perspective, it seems to be unlocking another gate, another success in the way, which is a wonderful card. I love this reading for you, pile number 1, because oftentimes we look at cards like in a very narrow-minded way, and we see how things just slowly unveil and unreveal themselves, and it's ending in the answers that you wanted, the things that you were asking other people for, the things that you were asking the three, well, in this sense there's 3 people, basically any collaborators on, you're now starting to get those answers, but more so within yourself. So thank you so much for watching pile number 1, and I'll see you all next time. Welcome, pile number 2. For pile number 2, we had the cranberry colored candle, and this one is a really good candle. I love this candle. But we'll go ahead and get started with you, pile number 2. We'll go ahead and shuffle the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Death. The Moon card. Ooh, okay, so all 3 are major arcana cards, which is a very spiritual reading. Okay, so let's pull one from the Celtic Spirit Oracle deck. The Hare. Now, for my readings, I only take upright cards, so that's the reason why they're all upright. That would have been so cool if they just ended up being that way. So we'll get started here. The way I like to read my cards is I touch the card and I get a word in my head, and usually that has something to do with the theme of the cards. So starting off with this card here. Make. Okay. Wow, this is a very similar card to the last reading we had. So Death card typically means transformation. It's something that we're going... Death is an often very transformative time. We're losing something, but often we're just starting anew. It gives us that clean slate, that begin again energy. And so it's not necessarily meaning you're going to die. Don't worry, that's not how this works. But it is often just a renewal of energy. It's starting over, which is a major time in your life. So with the Death card here, with the make, I feel like you're making a life for yourself. You're making something anew. You're starting again. It is an interesting card because often we don't realize how much we make the thing that often happen. It's funny because it feels like a collaboration between you and Spirit, you and God, you and Source, whichever version you'd like to say. It feels like a collaboration, which is interesting because that's not something that I would have expected from the Death card as a collaboration, but I think you and Spirit have been in conversation with one another, which is a very interesting interpretation here. Okay, so next card here is the Moon card. Let me go ahead and get the word for this. Night. Well, it is at night. Okay, so apparently you're getting kind of visions from it. Often the Moon card is illusions. In some areas, it's whatever happens at night is often not seen. It's dark. It's undercover. And with the Moon card, the moon is such a powerful planet. It's something that we often don't realize how much it affects us. It affects the tides and affects each cell in our body. And whenever the moon is out, we relish in its energy. We often don't realize how much we are pulled by the moon and its effects and its tides on us. So it's interesting because I think that this transformation will come about more and more in time as the nightfall comes, as we kind of head to bed. The transformation actually is starting not at the beginning of the day, but at the end of the day. That's really interesting to me. And this is so Spirit-led. I'm so shocked by how Spirit-led this is. And it's funny too, because the next card is the Star, which is dreaming, which is going to bed in a way. Yes, but it's kind of that, wish upon a star energy where your dreams are starting to become real. And seeing that come about, it's a really powerful card. Let me touch the deck here. I think this one's night too. Okay, so this card is night, which is funny how this card it's not typically nighttime when... Oh my gosh. Wow, you must have a huge amount of... Either you have this night ritual that's so important to you, or a lot of where your transformation happens is in your sleep. Wow. Well, that's crazy. That's amazing. Okay, so the Celtic Spirit Oracle deck, you pulled the Hare, which is otherworld, shape-shifting, and fertility. Okay, so interesting. I would have never guessed that. um, well, I guess watch out for you know, if you don't want kids, be careful. But other than that, it seems to me that you're evolving into almost another world. That is so incredible. And I see this as a good thing, like you're shape shifting, like you're coming into one world, which is maybe the real world in some areas, and then maybe changing into another world at nighttime that's your own and is precious and is spirit connected. So I guess this whole reading is just saying maybe try having a really spirit led night routine. Maybe light some candles, do some yoga. I mean, this is just a perfect segue. We have a yoga membership, and it's a beautiful thing. I won't get into it too much, but yeah, maybe you do that at nighttime. Maybe you pull oracle in tarot decks at nighttime. Gosh, it just seems like you have. This is quite an amazing deck, or amazing pull. Well, pile number 2, thank you all so much for watching. Good luck with your night routine, and as always, best of luck. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome again. We'll go ahead and get started with our 3-card pull with the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. Excuse me. Hi, honey. Oh my gosh, we have our friend here, pile number 3. We have our new kitten. Oh my gosh, so sorry. This is her new place here. We just got her not too long ago. Hi, honey, you want to help with this one? I know, it's so pretty. Oh, careful. Careful, honey. Yes, you want to help. Yes. Well, thanks for visiting. Oh my gosh, what an omen here. Maybe it's cat related? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you can help? Okay. Okay, let's shuffle the deck together. Okay. Pile number 3, you got a treat. You got a treat here. Hello. Hello. I know. You want to sit with me? Okay. Let's do this together. I don't want to distract myself. Wow, this one is interesting because we have a cat here. Hi. Okay. Okay, we start with the 8 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. 6 of Swords and 8 of Wands. Interesting. Okay. That was a good start. And then we'll pull one from the Celtic Spirit Oracle deck. Doesn't help that I have ADHD. And cats are just my favorite thing. Okay. The Crone, Fairy, Godmother, Wisdom, Future, and Truth. Okay. We'll start with the 8 of Pentacles and work our way down the row. Let me touch the deck to get a word. Release. Okay. I think you're releasing something through your work. I think you are letting go of something that has had held hold of you through the works that you put in. Hello. Hello. Yes. And I believe that with hard work and dedication, because the 8 of Pentacles is insinuating hard work and dedication, you often are facing some wonderful ways to release. It's funny because normally you would rest to release something that's been holding you, and usually it's work related, but yeah, this one feels more like you're releasing through your work, which is an interesting. I don't see it very often. Okay. let me go ahead and touch the second deck. You and pile number 1 had the word knight, or pile number 2, excuse me, had the word knight. And so, okay, interesting. So, with the Six of Swords energy, it's often your... I don't want to say too much here and then feel... I don't want to say... This cat is so cute. Hi. Yes, you're sweet, aren't you? Yes, you really want attention right now. I feel like it's one of those things where you... This cat is purring so much. Pile number 3, you have had me distracted, officially. Okay. So, the Six of Swords energy is typically... You have completed a project. You have completed something. It's usually a completion of something, or everything is seemingly in its place. But with the Swords energy, it's like that, but with thoughts. So you've gathered your thoughts, and you've had somewhat of a, not a conclusion necessarily, but you have an idea of where you're headed. You have an idea of where you're going, which is good. You have a good path ahead of you. And you're going to take that path, and if it shows a lot of waters in there, it may have something to do with that water energy of, even though it isn't necessarily a Cups card, which is tied to water, the element water, it shows water, and it's saying you're going on a journey. And sometimes it's an emotional journey, sometimes it's not. But regardless, you're going on a journey here. And it's taking you on tides like no other. It's taking you through a voyage, a path that will lead you to maybe not the right direction, but close to the direction that you're looking for. Okay, and then the 8 of Wands. So 2 8s. That's my number, funny enough. Let me see. Okay, so we had make, and now we have made. And this one was knight. Okay. It's interesting because the Wands cards are typically action cards. And in this card doesn't show any humans. It's just wands, basically. So in my interpretation, it's action, but there's not really a full-on, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's more just like action to do things and to work towards something, ultimately, because you do have the 8 of Pentacles here. But it sometimes feels like you're shooting your shot into the void. And that is definitely mimicked from the 6 of Swords energy. However, with the word made, it feels like you've made it. It feels like even though you are not at the destination you want to be yet, and you're just shooting your shot into the void, into the thing, you are ultimately, you're confident that you've had it made. You're confident in your decision. And that can be confusing because I know that oftentimes we're working towards something. It doesn't feel like we have it made. I feel like it's funny because this doesn't feel like an ending to your story. This feels like, okay, now I'm working towards a goal, but it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. It just feels like empty action. Okay, so the Crone Fairy Godmother card, which is part of the Celtic Spirit Oracle deck, is Wisdom, Future, and Truth. So Wisdom, Future, and Truth, these are all very interesting cards, all together. But to end on, you're heading towards your truth. You're heading towards the thing that will gain you one more little token of wisdom here. And it may feel, because the crone, like godmother energy, it's kind of like, if you imagine at the end, well, towards the middle of Cinderella, it's a lot of, she has a lot of wisdom. She's been around a long time. It's been quite some time since she has evolved into something else. It's probably, she, like, godmother knows a lot of different things because she's been around a really long time. So it feels like spirit is gifting you wisdom so that you do feel that confident, that you do feel like you've had it made, even though sometimes your action and the things that you're working towards don't really feel like it's getting you anywhere. You feel like you've had it made because you know your truth. You know what the truth is. And you're confident in that. Well, best of luck, pile number 3, and as always, I wish you well. Did you know that you can access our exclusive online yoga content from the comfort of your home or on the go? Once you become a member and you download the Offering Tree mobile app, you simply scroll down to the video you'd like to watch, press watch, and then press play. Happy yoga!